Welcome back for another anime review. This time the anime will be Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable, and this is going to be an episode 2 review. Episode 2 gave me a lot of my dress up darling vibes. Also, they did something that actually happened in Quintessential Quintuplets too, but I'm going to get to that when I get to that part of the review. But it's something I really did enjoy seeing, because I like my dress up darling, and also I'm a big fan of Quintessential Quintuplets. So I'm really enjoying this show right now. Okay, so this one might be a long video, so let's just hurry up and hop into the episode breakdown. Okay, it begins with Tsubasa staring at a flyer in the school for a winter festival, and Minami sees that, and she just kind of make plans to go to the festival with him. Like she basically invites him on a date, and he's kind of thinking like that, so he's getting kind of nervous, but I think she kind of wants it to feel like a date, because there is some signs in the episode that she do like him, and that she do know when she's like making him nervous and all that. And honestly, first, like in episode 1, I didn't know like if she was just like oblivious and like to him staring at her, but now it seems like she's doing this intentionally, especially in this episode. So the next scene is a quick scene about Minami at breakfast with her family, and it shows that she has a little sister, and her little sister got the day off from school just like her, and her little sister wants to hang out with her, but she turns it down and says she already has plans. So I don't know if the main character, what's his name, Tsubasa, is that important to her, but she actually turned down plans with her little sister to go with him. So I don't know, that might be something like later down the line that might be more for further delved into or something. So Tsubasa is waiting for Minami, like where they plan to meet up at, because she sent him a text that night. And so Tsubasa, he's kind of nervous and all that still about the date. So when she shows up, she actually shows up wearing more clothes than she usually wear. And the funny thing is, because Tsubasa actually thinks that she looks more sexy now than she do when she's in her school uniform, when she's actually wearing less clothes. So I thought that was kind of like, what? I thought that was kind of funny. So now the two of them are walking around the festival. They're looking at the igloos and all that, taking pictures with the igloos. And so they get bored of that, and they decide to get something to eat. So Tsubasa, he decides to get a corn dog, like covered in sugar, which I thought was kind of weird. But anyway, so he gets a corn dog covered in sugar, and Minami sees that she smiles, does like a smile, like she's planning something, and then she asks for a bite. So he feeds it to her, and she takes like a little bite off the top of it. And he's kind of funny, because he said this makes him feel a little dirty for some reason. I was like, yo, this dude is tripping. Like, he's really overreacting. But anyway, so then he finally calms down, and then he bites off the same part that she bit off of. And then he gets like nervous and all that, and she says that he's too easy to read, but he doesn't like actually like comment on this statement, but he just I guess he just lets that slide. So right now it's beginning to get time to the end of the festival, and they about to get ready to go home, so they're sitting down at a table drinking something. And Tsubasa, he thanks Minami for coming with him to the festival and for giving him a good time at the festival. But then she also thanks him because she said because from the first episode you could tell that she's kind of done with being in Hokkaido, and she thinks it's kind of lame there. But she said that anytime she's with him and seeing how much fun he's having makes her have fun too. So she thanks him as well. So as Minami stands up to leave, she like steps backwards and she slips on the snow. So Tsubasa has to hurry up and catch her. And when he catches her in his arms, like they're like really close, like it looks like their faces are so close, like they're about to kiss, and both of them start blushing. It was really like a one of those scenes where it's like it shows that both of them like each other. So now they're both walking back to what I believe they're walking back to the station now, and they make plans to go to the Winter Festival after he said that he enjoyed spending time with her. The next scene takes place when they're back in school, like it's lunchtime and they're in class. He's sitting at his desk by himself when Minami walks up and says she wants to eat lunch with him, when she brought him some instant noodles. And apparently he said he never ate instant noodles before. Now, honestly, I thought that was kind of weird, but I didn't really think too much into it until he takes out his lunch and she knows how like expensive the meat they has looks and how good it tastes and all that. So it turns out she's thinking like, well, this dude might be rich, and it turns out by the end of the episode, like, well, his family actually does have money. Well, anyway, after their conversation about what's the name, Tsubasa was saying about himself, or about his past anyway. So I guess like since she like thinks that he might be rich, she wants to see his house, so she invites herself over to his place. And as they're walking to his home, she sees like an igloo that some kids must have built, and she pulls him inside of it. And this is where the episode got kind of funny. Their whole conversation could be taken out of context. It was really funny. Like this part actually made me laugh. And it's funny, it's even funnier because like not only were they talking like that, but apparently his grandmother was walking by and she overheard it. So he hops out the igloo because she calls for him. And like she's staring at him. And then he's getting all like he's freaking out. And me was not helping the situation. She wraps her arm around his and tells him something like, you finished way too soon. You gotta take your time with things like this sort of thing, something like that. It was like his grandmother looked shocked. Well, kind of disgusted too, but shocked. Now, Minami finally realizes that Tsubasa's grandmother is there, so she introduced herself, and now her grandmother is curious about their relationship, so she asks her, like, what is her relationship to her grandson, and she says that they're friends, but Tsubasa hurried up and cuts her off and said they're just classmates. And I thought that was kind of weird, because it seemed like he doesn't want his grandmother to know that they're getting along or something like that, so it didn't really make sense. But Tsubasa later explains like that. Well, he thinks to himself that his grandmother doesn't like really open people. Or I forgot how he explained it exactly, but he said that he does. But apparently, she doesn't like people that act like Minami. Now, something similar, like a similar situation happened in Quintessential Quintuplets when someone asked Futaro and Miku over their relationship. Now, Miku was about to say that they're friends, but Futaro didn't know what to call them, and he just said that they're partners or something like that, and that made Miku upset with him. Now, Tsubasa's grandmother have an annoyed look on her face, and it kind of makes sense after what Tsubasa explained about his grandmother. So she tries to leave Minami behind and say that Tsubasa has something he has to take care of at home, so she's about to walk off without her. And Minami, she stops him and say that the direction that he's gone to has a lot of black ice on the road, and she knows a faster and safer way to get to their home and all that, so she wants to guide them. Minami offers to carry her grandmother, like his grandmother's things, so she grabs the bag from him. But then Tsubasa offers to carry for her as well because, like, well, I guess since he's the guy. But anyway, so she agrees. So she hands Tsubasa's the things, and while she does that, Minami starts pouting, and you can tell that she's upset about like, well, she explains herself because he asks what's going on, because she seems like she's upset with him. And she says, oh, so they're just classmates. And it's like she's upset about that, just like Miku was from Quintessential Quintuplets. But I think that this show handled it like a little bit smoother because they actually addressed the situation like right then and there. Anyway, Tsubasa, he explains that he didn't know what to say in front of his grandmother. So he explains, well, he kind of whispered to her and said that she's an important friend to him. And like, well, she gets happy about that and she starts teasing him about that. But eventually they do get to his house, and he lives in a big house. Like, it's not like a mansion or anything, but it's really big though. Now, Minami, she's about to leave because she makes that excuse up again that, well, Tsubasa has something to do, so she's about to head out. But this time, Tsubasa's grandmother stops her and invites her in for some tea. Now, that actually kind of surprised me after hearing about that she probably don't like Minami, but for some reason, like, she is starting to warm up to her. Now, when she's walking through the house, like with the tea down the hallway, like she says that she wants to get soft with her old age or something. But I wonder if they're gonna go more into that later down the line in the show, like what the grandmother actual problem is about people like her. Now, after the ending song, there's another scene where they're in class again, and they're getting ready for a ski trip. And apparently, Tsubasa, he gets paired up with some girl named Akino, I believe is the way you pronounce her name. And she's like in classroom, like she's not even paying attention to the teacher. She's just playing like a game on her phone. And I'm like, so like this girl might be a little bit socially awkward or something. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode, see how that goes. Anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm really looking forward to episode 3. I wonder what else this show gonna have. Like, because like that's just one of the girls that they show. Like, there's 2 more, and Akino is one of them. So I wonder what's gonna happen with this situation. Anyway, this is my review, and I hope y'all have a good one.